gonna have voice, both.
La 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 la.
Yes, that's the beautiful
Me,
singing.
me.
And then face. Did I make it? Yes, I did that right. Everyone is there. Everyone has
Yeah,
song.
we are. I see
We
Tom's
did
beautiful
it!
hairline.
Don't be jealous like that.
My hairline.
He's just jealous because he
So,
has a hat.
From what? Yeah, no, he's yeah. Let's not go there.
Oh, you went there first.
No, I did not. I have lots of hair.
Yes, yes, you do.
Look, it's all there. And only there. So, Tom. Hi, Tom.
Hello.
You're just like, no introduction. We're just going like,
No, hold on.
hi.
Yeah, I mean,
Straight in.
I am doing what the chat seems to be doing right now.
Yes.
They know Tom already,
Yes.
so
Do I?
are you seeing the chat right now?
I'm not seeing the chat because I'm not.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna be.
Is on my phone, and my phone is my camera.
Yeah.
As previously
Yeah.
discussed. So you'll
Complicated.
have to just read them all out to me.
They're saying, hi, Tom.
Hi, my chat slave.
I will be the chat slave of
the
Tom
chat.
for today. So hi Tom, hi people in the chat. I'm Maven. I can.
I can.
be-
No, hang on. I can see the chat.
Oh.
Hang on. And my mic is kind of
Oh.
low.
well, there you go.
It's like-
See,
So I can't. I don't have the technical ability to make it louder. I can just move it
Oh.
closer to my face.
and
If
but
I
just
bring
us-
you more, it's
Oh
gonna
yeah,
bring
you've got
him
volume
more
controls, haven't you? Yeah, yeah. I'll just.
okay,
move it further away
I'm
from
gonna
my
push my mic away.
a bit.
And
Just,
how is
size.
that?
Is that better?
advanced? Then I'm gonna do that. Like this. Is it better?
Yes, he is. Nuri. He is the creator of the humor behind Hair of the Dog.
If Tom talk, do we have? I'm not sure.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I was like, no, I'm sure it's not true. Someone's making fun of me.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So I'm making Air of the Dog at the moment. I was working on that today, which is a rare thing because I've been taking on lots and lots of other weird mini side quests over the last few months. So it's been nice to be able to kind of crack on and actually really do some game development on my game.
Nice.
Which is nice.
Yes.
Awesome. So before we go into too much details, I'm already feeling like we will have us, Jess and I, absolutely no control on how this is gonna go. So I'm gonna just like put it out there right now. Let's do the intro first,
Yes.
and then we can like stop caring about the segues that we're gonna do. We're just like
Be my guest.
gonna fly through this
It'll
life.
just explode.
Yes.
All over
Yes.
everyone.
Chaos and
No.
confusion. No, let's not go back to dying.
Let's not do that.
So, today on DevTalk.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Look at that. Can you hear it today? It's good. You should be one of the voices.
Professionalism just
Yeah.
oozing out of the speakers.
She's an actress. Did you know?
Jesus, we're
No,
never
for
gonna
real.
get there.
She plays
never
on
gonna get there.
stage with stuff and people and yeah.
So
She's
today we're having Tom with us. It was a recommendation first of Andy, the old man that games that we all
Yeah.
know and love.
Of course
And
it was, yeah.
we've talked a bit about Tom last Saturday on stream, and we were giving away Lucid Dreaming. So we were kind of hype about meeting you on the DevTalk of this week. So do you want to introduce yourself, what you're doing, who you are, where you're from, those kind of thing?
Okay, I'll try not to like waffle because it's a long story.
You
So,
can
like, how
take
far back
1
do you want me to
hour
go?
and a half
Like,
if you want.
Okay. So and I'm a solo dev. I run the studio with my wife Emma, who basically facilitates my whimsy. So I kind of do all the artwork and the dev and the game writing and things, and she makes it so that it makes money and kind of cracks the whip and keeps everything organized and basically makes it a viable business rather than me just faffing about, wasting time, having a hobby and making games that will never actually see the light of day. So my background is advertising and marketing. That's kind of what my career has been in. And during kind of the UK COVID lockdown in 2020, a lot of our work kind of dried up. We do a lot of work for charities and museums, and during COVID, a lot of that work just kind of died. So I kind of thought, well, what do I want to do with this sort of opportunity that I've got? And I'd always wanted to make a point-and-click adventure game. I loved playing Monkey Island, Simon the Sorcerer, Broken Sword, Day of the Tentacle, all the kind of classics when I was growing up. After that point, I didn't really play an awful lot of games. I don't, my kind of education in like the wider world of games is really quite limited. So when I thought to myself, I'd quite like to make a video game, my first thought was point and click, because that was probably one of the last types of genre of game that I'd actually played. So I decided to make one completely in JavaScript. So I had no idea that game engines existed. I'd never heard of indie devs. I'd never heard of Twitch or game jams or anything like this. Or, I'd heard of Unity. I think I'd see, because I'd worked in web stuff. Occasionally I'd seen the Unity logo appear as like a plugin for someone who had like done like an HTML game. So I was aware that Unity existed, but I didn't know what it was. I thought it was some kind of 3D program, which is sort of is in some ways, but I thought it was like a 3D technology for web or something. I had no idea. So I basically made my own point-and-click adventure game just completely as a web app in JavaScript. It's still on itch.io. You can go and play it. I wouldn't, but you can in theory. And then I kind of put that. There was a game jam going on during the COVID lockdown as well, and I posted my game on Twitter and said, "Hey, I've made a game. Isn't that clever? Wouldn't anybody like to play it?" And a couple of other Twitch streamers who were into kind of point-and-click games found it on Twitter and went, "Hey, that's interesting. Is that part of this game jam?" I'm like, what's a game jam? What the hell are you talking about? And they go, "Oh, well, we're on Twitch." Like, what's Twitch? Well, okay. No, it's like they're kind of talking to me like I'm some kind of like I'm like their grandmother. It's like, okay, let's just introduce you. Like, this is called a keyboard, and so it was really kind of basic. So just come along, make a Twitch account. Oh, I'll make a Twitch account and fine. And then went and kind of watched this stream. They said we're streaming all of these adventure game jam submissions, and we'll add yours to the list, even though it wasn't an official submission, because why not? It looks fun. The game was called Lockdown. So the game that I made was called Lockdown, and it was all about the UK lockdown. So it was about homeschooling your kids, running out of toilet paper, over buying lots of tinned goods and bags of whole wheat flour, running out of hand sanitizer, Zoom calls, that sort of thing. So there was that kind of, and all but just basically being stuck in your house. So I think at the time they're like, yeah, go on, we'll play that. It sort of seems kind of the moment. So, and then I was on their Twitch stream, and there were lots of people in the chat who were saying, "Oh, what game engine do you use?" I'm like, does Notepad count? Is that what you mean? And they're like, okay, so this whole thing is like, and I'm like, no, here's the code. Like, you could see it. This is it. This is all kind of hand coded. So they're like, oh wow, okay, because there's like software that'll do that for you, and it'll do it a lot better. I'm like, no, I had no idea, and I really wish I had known. So I then started looking at different point-and-click game engines. I tried a couple. I tried Adventure Game Studio, and I tried Visionaire, which is the game engine that I now use. And I really liked it because when I started using it, all of the way that it was laid out programmatically. So the way that all the different kind of sections were split up was the same or similar to what I'd done. So there were scenes, there were characters, there were, and if there was a variable that I'd made it a scene variable or a character variable or an item or an object or whatever it was, when I looked for them in those places, that's where I found them. So it just felt kind of familiar. So I kind of had a look at that and had to play about with it. And also at the same time, a couple of the devs that I chatted to on this initial stream were making another point and click game. So I'm suddenly introduced to this whole community of other people who make point and click games much, much better than I did. And I had no idea. And there's this thing called like indie dev, which is where people who don't like necessarily make games sort of that you've heard of are still making games. And there's millions of us and we're making millions of games and there's loads of point and click games out there. And I'm like, holy shit. Like I thought I was like really clever. Like I was this guy. Like, you know what? I'm gonna do something no one's ever done before, and then realise that I'm right at the back of the queue, and there's a lot of much more talented people doing it already. But they were funding. So a couple of the devs that were in the chat were funding a game on Kickstarter. So I was like, okay, well, I knew what Kickstarter was. I'm not a complete idiot. So that's debatable. So I
on the list.
So I backed their game on Kickstarter. But also at the back of my head, I'm thinking, okay, that's kind of a viable way of funding a game, right? So that sort of made sense. So I started thinking about how am I going to sort of possibly do this? At this point there was no kind of necessarily end to the UK lockdown in sight, and it's still, COVID's just rife across the whole of the planet, and nobody really knows when this is going to stop. So I'm thinking, well, I might as well at least have a proper go. Making a game with the game engine that can be run as an executable file on a PC, but it can also port it to mobile or it can port it to consoles if I wanted to in the future. So I started thinking of ideas and developing an idea, and then that ended up being my first game, which was Lucid Dreaming, and that. I took just about a year. I think it was about a year later.
Oh yeah.
That I was ready to launch it on Kickstarter. So by that point, I'd figured out I'd made a demo and I'd built up a bit of a community. In that time, I'd also done a game jam game myself in the kind of October. So this was sort of 6 months later. I did a game jam game as well, and then launched my Kickstarter kind of the following May. And then once that was funded, and then I was able to.
Congrats.
Over the next 18 months, that was my kind of dev time, and then I released it. So it was the following. So I did the Kickstarter in the May, and then the following October, that's when I kind of released. That was 2022, and that's when I released Lucid Dreaming. But at the back of my mind, even when I released that, I kind of knew what I wanted to do as a next game, and that was a full version of the game jam game that I'd done, which is Heir of the Dog, and that's the one I'm working on at the moment. So that's the short answer. Do you want the long answer?
I've been told in the chat that you're still a bit quieter than us. If you want to bring it closer, it might be better because Anto is going to be really loud and you're going to be...
My mic is at the other end of my table right now, so I think that could play... I'm going to sound echoey at some point. Did you try to jump his volume straight in Discord?
I could try to do that. That could be a good idea.
That's what I did when
my microphone volume is set to maximum in Discord, so I don't think I can make it any higher apart from getting closer, which I can do.
Put the volume of you on Discord higher, and I'm gonna put Anto a bit back because right now you're still in the red, even if you're like so far away. Yes, Anto. So I think it's gonna be better like that. No, I did not mute you. I think it's a bit harsh. But...
I'm gonna bring it a bit closer then.
Okay.
So that I don't sound like in the back of the room. All right, so a wonderful intro, Tom. One of the most descriptive intro that we have
That's
ever
really
seen
interesting.
in our DevTalk. Usually people do like, well, I made that game.
Hi, my name is. I made that.
Yeah. So, and I kind of pre-warned you before this. Like,
It's perfect.
if you need me to shut up,
No.
just like if you got like an air horn or something, just like something that you can just go, just mute me, just stop and talk over me. It's
Nobody's
fine.
gonna hear you. We're just gonna.
While Tom is still trying to figure out how to end this sentence,
We'll leave him. Yeah.
Right.
Journey was saying that she loved your energy, and I agree, Journey. It's so much fun. I'm so glad that we have you as a guest.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, he's making our job really easy. Tom, I would like to know though. You skimmed a bit fast on your like inception into the gaming world, not as a dev, but as like a player. Was it like later in your life, or were you a kid playing only point and clicks? Did you only have access to that?
So first games that I played. Okay, if I was going to go back to like first game that I remember playing would have been on ZX Spectrum, probably. And there was an adventure game that we had which was called Valhalla, and that was essentially like a glorified text adventure game. So you had little sprites that would kind of walk along, like three like this three. I remember the graphics being amazing. I remember when a dragon, you'd summon a dragon. You're like, it was all like Viking, kind of old sort of Norse mythology. Yeah. So it was like, I'm gonna summon Nidhogg. You didn't summon Nidhogg actually, because Nidhogg was a bastard. So what you did is if you came onto, I'll tell you what you did, in case you ever want to play. If you came onto a scene and Nasha or Nidhogg were on there, and they were the nasty they were evil dragons. If you look through the booklet, it had like a goodness rating, and they were like super bad. So if they were on a scene, you could just walk away. But my instinct reaction was to you could summon other characters, and you could summon a good dragon, and there was a good dragon called Sadie. You summon Sadie, and then you basically try and groom Sadie into
being a bad
his life on the line and killing this other dragon. Even though Sadie's really good, and you're like, Sadie, kill Nidhogg, and it's like Sadie doesn't want to kill Nidhogg. So give Sadie wine, and then give Sadie all my wine, and then Sadie's like, oh, go on then, and then Sadie would usually die, and then I'd die, and that was the kind of loop that I went on with play. I never completed it. I think I once found a key, and then I died.
I'm sorry for you and Sadie.
No, but I loved it. That was like, and that was kind of my first sort of adventure game. And then I played quite a few text adventure games as well. I remember the first game that I ever bought myself, actually like went to a shop and bought with my own money, was called Wishbringer. And it was, oh God, what's his name? It was because an old Infocom kind of text adventure. What's his name? Brian. Oh, that's going to annoy me. Anyway,
try to find it.
This guy who wrote it, and I loved that game. That was so much fun. So I played it, and then I kind of played Sierra games. Yes. So the King's Quest games, King's Quest 4, Space Quest, Police Quest. Go on.
Brian Moriarty.
I knew it was Brian, but Brian Moriarty. Yes, it was. I don't think it was his most famous work, but I absolutely loved it as a game. It was fantastic. So yeah, then played Sierra games, but at the same time, I'd also I had a Game Boy, and I saved up my money for like over a year to buy a Super Nintendo, and the only kind of version of the console I could buy that I could afford had one controller and no games with it. So I spent the first kind of year of owning this console was going to other people's houses, like, can I borrow Zelda? Have you completed it yet? Can I borrow this? Can I borrow that? Please, can I? So I ended up kind of playing all the games that nobody wanted to play. No one would actually lend me Zelda, obviously. And then eventually, I managed to get a couple of games for myself. So, but since then, absolutely loved the Zelda series. But I don't own a Switch, so I have a Wii, and I've completed Twilight Princess. I don't think I ever completed would soar because then I had a child, and then I stopped.
Gaming is
playing
not a
anything.
thing anymore.
No. So when I kind of claimed that I'd never played any games, I did have a Wii, and I did play Wii Sports, and I did have Twilight Princess. Did I have anything else? Must have done. I don't have a lot.
I was with you when I was a teen. I had the Wii Sport thingy too, so you were not alone on that one. I had it.
Well, that was when you were a teen. I was like 40 years old by that point.
Not that
previously
long.
discussed. So I had a Super Nintendo, and then my brother bought me he got a really good job later on, and I was sort of in my early 20s, and he bought me a GameCube. And I went and I got Wind Waker, and I absolutely loved that. So I had to play console games, pretty much exclusively Nintendo consoles through, and I've skipped a couple on the way.
We're having a discussion about which King Quest is the best in the chat. Which one is your favorite?
4.
4? We have someone voting for 4, someone for 5, someone for 6, someone for 7.
Actually, it went 6, 7, 5,
4.
and then 4.
Yeah, 4. So I'm not sure if I've played 5. I've played 6 and 7. I enjoyed them. I really enjoyed them. And that was when the internet had first kind of come in to being. So I was honest. There was a Sierra fan website, and I ended up meeting some people like via kind of the chat and the forums and things on there when I was like 16, 17.
Oh yeah.
People who I'm still in touch with now. So it's that which is lovely. And it's but as far as King's Quest 4 was the first kind of graphical adventure game, if you don't include Valhalla, which was just being killed by dragons or drunk dragons. That was probably my first game that I actually ended up completing as well. So I had a real sort of sense. I got a real fondness for that, and it took me years, what felt like years, it probably was years, to actually complete it. I've lots of dying, but I didn't care. I started from the beginning again, and it was all about the points. So you'd with the Sierra games, you kind of had your quest, and you had your various milestones you had to get through, and your narrative, your story, try and not die. But you collected points along the way as well. So there were some things you could get, like if you picked up a worm, it gave you like 2 points. But then if you went fishing with the worm, it gave you more points. But if you picked up the worm and then you fed it to a bird, it gave you more points, and then you could pick up another worm. So there's like different ways you could get more points.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I might have made that up. That was, but it was something. I was like 8 at the time, but I seem to remember there was definitely some bonus points with the worm. I'm sure there was. I'm sure I didn't dream that. I might have dreamt.
I would love that so hard. It doesn't exist.
I'm gonna have to look it up. But yeah, so those are the games I've kind of played. I then we got this was on an 8086, so it was a Sinclair PC 200. It had a 3.5-inch disk drive, so that was good. No hard disk.
Yeah, that was the future.
So you had to kind of boot. You had to have a boot disk, and you had to keep swapping disks. And it had CGA graphics, so it was like everything was in magenta, cyan, black and white.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing.
That's
just the pain. Yeah, it was. But that's the thing. You just kind of.
Well, at least it wasn't a tape deck,
Yeah, no, exactly. And it wasn't 5. We completely skipped 5.25-inch discs as well. We went straight from cassette to like, and I think it could take HD discs as well. It's like you could have like 1.4 megabytes on one of those. And like, yeah. I think we might have had to have a separate disk drive for that. I can't remember. But yeah, so I played those, and then eventually, after many years, we got a 486 or a 386. I've built various PCs, 286, 386, 486, blah blah blah. Going and buying different processors, and back when you could just put a processor in, you didn't have to worry about heat sinks and that sort of stuff. But we got a 486, and I bought a copy of Monkey Island, which I had played a little bit at a friend's house on his Amiga 500 that he had.
Yeah, the best way to be played.
so I kind of knew that was the thing. So I enjoyed playing that, but I also knew some of the things. So I knew about the insult sword fighting, and I knew how that worked. So although I kind of played through it and I did most of it myself, there wasn't a full sense of accomplishment. It wasn't until I bought Monkey Island 2 when that came out. Probably actually no, I bought it on the budget version, so it was probably a couple of years after it came out. But that was then the first kind of LucasArts game that I played through in its entirety myself and had a real sense of accomplishment. So like I did that. I wasn't going to phone the LucasArts hotline or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
I did it.
Yeah, exactly. So I was really happy with that. So I've got a real fondness for that. And then played other kind of LucasArts games after that. So Day of the Tentacle. And then played. I'm sure I played other ones. Must have done. I played a lot of demos. So we used to get a lot of demos on the Frontier magazine. So I had kind of I had a Loom demo on a disc and things, and I loved that. But I'm just
saying Auto falling in love.
It takes me back, right? Usually the devs that we talk to, like,
are young.
Like
really
full console is like the PlayStation 2 or something. Like there's not a lot of us left.
Right? Well, there's a reason for that. We keep dying off.
Yeah, I remember. And I'm from
the Grim Reaper
Canada,
is coming
right?
for all of us.
I know. And my dad was a big huge...
You said Amiga and I saw his eyes with Star Wars.
Well, I mean, I was about to judge, right? Because he built in the UK a PC, right?
Judging, I guess? Judging,
I would have... Well, I mean, I'm not judging. I'm just, like, wondering with a little bit of judgment. Yeah. Why you would have gone to the PC ways instead of just buying an Amiga, which was way more popular in your part of the world.
That was down to my dad. So
his fault.
He was a relatively early adopter of PC. So the PC 200 that we got, that was DOS based. So I knew I was familiar with DOS. And then when we got the 486, that was the family PC. So that was the work PC and I got to play games on it. So that wasn't my... Like, I would go to friends' house and they'd have a Commodore 64 or an Amiga, and like, my God, this is amazing. This is like having this is like having an arcade in your house. Go and play Frontier Elite or something. And it was like and I absolutely loved like little gifts for you. Bits of nostalgia I'll just throw at you like breadcrumbs, and you could just
okay, fun fact. Did you know that Frontier Elite was in total weighing 22 kilobytes? It was smaller than the usual email that you send today.
Wow. I love that. So, because I used to work in, like I said, I used to work in advertising. And one of the things, when I came into the kind of digital advertising in the early 2000s, it was the kind of advertising that I was working on. I started using Flash. So it was Flash banner ads. So like the banner ads that used to appear that everybody hated. Yeah, I was that guy.
You were the pop-up guy.
But it wasn't pop-ups. No, it wasn't like bing 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 bing. No, it was like if you looked into Hotmail and you saw an advert for like Packard or something like that. That was what I was doing. So the idea was to try and make them as interactive as possible, and in those days, you had to do it in all the different sizes. So there was like square sizes, skyscraper, leaderboards, and the small ones, which were 468 by 60 pixels, and the file size limit you had on those was 12K. So if you wanted to do something interactive in there, you had to do it in 12K, and in that 12K. So I used to do a lot for Hewlett Packard, and they would say, oh, okay, that's fine. You got 12K to play with, fine. But once I've got the Hewlett Packard logo in there, even as a vector, and I've got the font in there to the font characters for whatever messages they want in there, and I've got a little tiny or multiple pictures of laptops or servers or
Whatever you were selling, yeah.
You've got kind of 7 or 8K to play with to make something interactive. And I think the most ambitious one that I ever managed to fit into that was an interactive Rubik's Cube.
Oh.
And that was 3D as well. So I had to, like, you could actually solve it and it would mix up and randomize.
Oh my.
That's cool.
It was cool. I thought it was cool. I've
It's
still got it. I've
cool.
still got a copy of it. I'll send you a copy.
Please do.
But that's also there's an interactive Rubik's Cube in Lucid Dreaming as well, and it's basically it took me days to program it the first time round. The one in Lucid Dreaming I managed to program in a day because I already knew roughly how I'd built it before. But that was it was a kind of, it's sort of my kind of benchmark thing, like a bit like a Hello World. It's like, if I can make a Rubik's Cube now, then in whatever, because with Lucid Dreaming, that's using Visionaire Studio, and that has a Lua script backend, which I've never used before. It's a C-based language. It's very it's quite strict, but it's as once you've learned the syntax and you can Google what different operators you need to use or what the syntax is, that's kind of fine. So it was kind of if I can build a Rubik's Cube in it, then that's fine. I know I'm kind of comfortable with it.
I was wondering, how long did it took you to do Lucid Dreaming? Like, because you answered it earlier, but I was trying to play with the sound, so I'm not sure I've heard it.
Yeah. So it depends, Wade. It's hard to say. So I started building it. I suppose I kind of first started, like, I built the first scene. I didn't know what the story was going to be, but I built Lucy's bedroom, and that's kind of the first scene that you start off in. And I just, because I'm really clever, I thought I'd put lots of different references to other adventure games in there, cool. Not realizing that it is. I thought it was cool, but also it's something that almost every other indie point-and-click developer has done. So, like, you will find there are a few now who've anyone who's kind of worked on more than one game and subsequent games has got that all out of their system, and then will now look at other devs doing that with a certain amount of disdain. And then you could some people will they really, really hate it.
Oh, I like that. I think it's cool. I think it showcases who you are, and you put it in your game, and you showcase what you like in other games and what brings you to do that one. So I like it. I think it's like more of a personal thing.
No. Well, the thing is, I kind of wrote it into the character of Lucy. So the Lucy in the game is a kind of retro file. She loves old stuff. So although it's set in more modern day, it's like she's really into retro stuff. So there's posters on the wall from like retro conventions she's been to. So there's a reason for that stuff being in there. And most of it's just in her bedroom. So once you come out of the bedroom, there are a couple of subtle-ish, and one or two maybe not so subtle, references to other games kind of throughout there. But I mean, in total, there's probably only about 20 references in the whole game. And most of them are in her bedroom. So it's like, if you
I like it.
Really got. And some people really hate it. Others really like it. My new game, Air of the Dog, is set in Victorian times, so that would be quite anachronistic to kind of start putting references to that. And I'm not going to start putting purple tentacles in things. But I am quite happy. So I've actually made a point of not referencing any other adventure games in there. In fact, there's even like jokes about not referencing other adventure games kind of in there.
I like that too.
Subtle, not like really slightly.
No, I'm not gonna do it. But I know you're thinking about me doing it right now.
So one of the plans I've got is for there to be a big building which is like the Adventurers Guild, and there's like inside, and you can look through the window and go, my God, like you can't see through the window, but the character can. So like, there's loads of stuff in there. You'd love it. It's locked. You can't get in, and you could never go in. It's just, but that's where there's like, that's where all the stuff from other kind of IPs lives, probably. But like, so that's the kind of a bit of an idea.
And it's gonna be called the reference room.
Exactly. But I am planning to. There's no, as far as I'm concerned, there's no reason why this can't live in the same universe as Lucid Dreaming does. So because they're both set in the UK. So there are some little references to lucid dreaming
Oh,
in this one
sweet.
as well.
I love that even more.
Which is, but again, they're not like massive. They're just like, if you happen to see, like, they're just like a little kind of throwaway comment.
If you know,
here and
you
there,
know.
or, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
And it's not going to be like it's not really exclusive. Like, if you don't, it's not going to be like a, hey, did you get that joke? Wink,
Yeah.
wink. Like, if not, go and buy this other game. But just like little things that people hopefully will kind of enjoy and
Yes.
appreciate.
It's just like putting the lore of your studio inside all of your game just together.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's
together.
And I think that's kind of valid as well.
Yes.
So there's stuff in lucid dreaming which is obviously old and antique, and there's no reason why it couldn't have been in this game
new
previously.
and yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
You know, and like, God, can you imagine what will happen to this in 100 years' time? You know, or you could. So there's different things I can do. So. I can't remember what the original question was.
The question was how long
how long did it take? So yeah, so I started and I did her bedroom. Go off on a tangent. So I did. Yeah, sorry. So I did her bedroom, and then that was my way of kind of working out how to use the engine. So how can I get the interface working? How can I get menus working and inventory? Can I get dialogue and bringing in audio files and speech and lip syncing, just mucking about with the engine, seeing how far I could push it. And I faffed about with that for quite a while. And then during the time while I was sort of gearing up for the Kickstarter, so in the first kind of year or so after I'd first discovered that I could do this, I built what I thought was going to be the demo. So in the game, not too much of a spoiler, but in the game there is a method you can use to go in and out of dreams, and that's it. So you can go into Lucy's dream worlds, and there's different dreams you can go into, and you can kind of discover stuff in there, and you can come back out and into the real world, and you can kind of dip in and out as you need to. And my assumption was that because that was such a key mechanic in the game, the demo needed to at least have that in it.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, I needed to have that whole introduction, that whole section of going there. And I thought, actually, what you're going to have to do is have the first dream, really. So the first sort of introduction, this is Lucy's world, this is what's going on, this is how to make your thing to go into dreams, go into a dream, solve the dream, come out again, end of the demo. And then I made that, and then that was what sort of took me almost a year. So I was probably in sort of end of March, April time, and I was planning to launch the Kickstarter in May. So I was like, I've got my demo, fine. Play through it, and it's about 2 hours long. So, which for a game demo is just ridiculous.
It's
stupid.
Well, I mean, it's a
very
valuable
generous.
demo, right?
Yes, it is generous, but it's the way you're working your first big game that you're gonna share, and it's that you want people to understand. So that's the way you think that they're gonna get it. Yeah, it makes sense.
So I'm there, sort of thinking, right, okay, I've got the first two hours of the game, right? That's generous enough, surely. And then I played a couple of other demos. One was a game called Prim. And I played the demo for that, and it was about 10 minutes. Like I played point and click games, so I was able to get through it in about 10 minutes. Other people, maybe 20 minutes, something like that. But
there's a tiny question in the chat. Did you promote that demo on Facebook at some point? Because Journey is saying that she thinks that she played that demo.
Of Prim?
Yeah. The Kickstarter Prim.
Oh, probably, yeah. So I'm quite good friends with Jonas, who made Prim. There is in Lucy Dreaming, there is a little Prim doll as well, in one of the bedrooms as well. You can. And
there's oh my god, Prim is so good too.
It's absolutely.
Thank you for the lurk, Neraf.
But no, it's a fantastic game, fantastically written. Jonas Fish, who made it, is also. He is an academic himself, so he's a lecturer, and he lectures in kind of philosophy and things, I think. And he's very, very thoughtful. He's German, so he's like it's like this is it was like really everything was very well curated and engineered, and that's like he knew exactly what he was doing. Whereas I'm just there going, I'm making a game, la la la. Whereas he's like,
boom, boom, boom.
yeah, basically. And whereas he knows what he's doing. So he puts his demo out. I play it. It's 10 minutes long, and it dawns on me that actually that's what I should be doing. I should be having a short demo that just introduces the characters, introduces the humor, the style, gives people a flavor of the game, but doesn't give too much away. So I basically, with a couple of weeks to go before the Kickstarter launched, I spent a week making a new demo using all the assets that I'd already got. I kind of tweaked a few things, and I essentially made a game which is, I don't know, it's probably, again, 15, 20 minutes little demo, which is a prequel. So rather than it being... So when the full game of Lucid Dreaming, it starts with her falling through the sky. That's her nightmare. She's got a recurring nightmare and she's falling. And the demo is now a prequel. So that's all about... It's just a little fetch quest, a little thing that is like, you just need to help her get to sleep. So you need to find her a cuddly toy and a warm drink and a fluffy pillow and things like that. And you have to... This is a little list of things. This is what I need to help you get to sleep. Then when you finish the demo, she goes to sleep and she starts falling. And that's when the full game kind of starts. So it's completely separate. There are no duplicated puzzles. You can play the demo after you've played the full game, and there's loads, well, it's not loads, but there's a few little puzzles in there. There was a hidden Easter egg that we put in because I released it around Easter. And the person who found the Easter egg, you could go into a prize draw, and he got to be a character in the full game as well. So there's a little kid. Him and his, I think they're Canadian as well, actually. And him and his dad found this Easter egg, and they submitted it, and they won. So he's now a character. He plays like Luke's kind of best friend at the end of the game.
Oh, that's
so
sweet.
He's just a kid, but he's in. So they sent me a photo, and I had to kind of pixel art him.
Oh, I love that.
So, but that was cool. That was not, but I was able to kind of put those things in, and people can play that, but it doesn't kind of spoil anything for the full game. If I was doing another game, I would do exactly the same thing again. It has been having it as a prequel that is that length is perfect for events, perfect for streaming, perfect. It's perfect like it as a launch pad. Like, here's the demo. Oh, I like that. I wonder what happens next. With Air of the Dog, because it was based on the game jam, and I wanted the full game to kind of pick up where the game jam finished.
Yeah,
it was kind of essential for the whole game jam bit to still be the first part of the game. And then it sort of made sense for that to be the demo, because that's the bit that I've already released. But it's about more like half an hour to 45 minutes long. So it's longer than I would ideally want. And also it does have the same puzzles that are going to be in the full game as well, the first sort of bit of it. Now, you'll be able to go through that really quite quickly. If you've already done you can get through those puzzles in about 5 minutes if you know what you're doing. But it's still, I really love the way that Lucid Dreaming ended up being completely by accident, and that's exactly what I would do in the future. But unfortunately, with Air of the Dog, it's ended up being, it sort of ended up happening a bit backwards, so it sort of ended up not as ideal.
It's bringing me to a question about, because you've worked with like marketing, and I was wondering how much did it help you when you were working on Lucid Dreaming, and now on Ear of the Dog. What can you take from that past experience to bring to your like present success and what you're doing?
So helpful. So it's meant that so when I ran the Kickstarter, essentially I was able to kind of look at other previous Kickstarters that had run, work out why they were successful, figure that and kind of emulate that and build that up in my community, and understood the importance of building that community, not just suddenly going on Kickstarter and going, hey, I'd like to make a game. Anyone? Hello? I actually had
there's no one else tried.
Exactly, and we funded within a week. But I was completely cold.
It's impressive.
So, no, it was brilliant. It was fantastic, and it was that. But that was the marketing knowledge in me. So being able to, there was no reason. I mean, I built the demo, but other than that, there was no real reason for anyone to believe that I could do it, to trust that I would be able to deliver it, or anything like that. So it was kind of it was trying to sell something that I was pretty sure I could do, but like I'd never done it before. There was it was
Please trust me. I'm not sure I'm trusting myself, but we're gonna try together.
Exactly. And that's what the marketing is. It's just lies. It's just it's just a big pack of lies. But luckily it paid off. So no, that's been really good. In terms of kind of I'm not phased by the PR side, the marketing side. I know a lot of indie devs, and they hate that side of things. They hate the uncertainty. They hate the fact that they've got to try and prove themselves. Like they're going like, I've got my game. It's like, what's wrong? Can I not just put my game on there and people buy it? Can it not be that simple?
So easy.
And it's not, because it's selling games is all about relationships with your audience. It's all about, especially as an indie dev, you've got to spend the time doing that. You can occasionally somebody catches lightning in a bottle and they're able to hit the right game and hits the zeitgeist at the right time and it blows up. But you can't rely on that, and you certainly can't rely on that if you are just making a clone of a game that's already existed, because that lightning's already bolted.
It's already in the bottle. And you don't have the bottle.
Yeah, exactly. So you're the only way you're really going to kind of be able to do that again is by doing something that's really kind of different and has your own stamp on it. And my strategy was never to try and chase that. Mine has always been I'd like to be doing this in 10, 20 years time. So I need to build up a community. I need to build up a reputation. I need to build up a name for myself. So I'm not bothered about getting thousands and thousands of people to buy my game on day one. I don't really care about wish lists. I don't care, because I want it to be a kind of hidden gem that people recommend to their friends, and that's what matters to me. So when I put it through to beta testing for the first time, I wasn't really bothered about bugs and typos particularly. Yeah, obviously I want to know if it's breaking, but the first thing I kind of asked is like, is it fun? Is it funny? Are the jokes landing? Does it feel like it's too rude? Does it feel like it's not, it's a bit crass? Or it's, getting people to give that feedback, and that was really valuable, because that's it. Once you've got that, everything else is kind of polish. So it was, I completely lost my train of thought there. Actually, I can't remember where I was going. I told you.
It was interesting.
Just on your train, Tom. We're just listening to you.
We were on that train with you.
I know. You know what? You know what it was. You know what I'm going to blame. There was a fly.
Yeah.
Okay. And I looked at the fly, and then I looked back at the screen, and I went, "No, it's gone."
So the fly went away with
the fly. It's fucked off with my train of thought, and it's now. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
But to be fair, when you're indie, that's something that we realize with time, is that your studio is less important than who you are as a person. There is exception to that, of course, but until your studio has like multiple games that all have a name for themselves, your studio doesn't mean anything. But you need to take that space.
And I am aware that I am in a luxurious position at this point, that when I first was making my first game, I also run a digital marketing agency with my wife. So that was sort of 80-90% of the business until I released the first game. That was still full-time dev. This was all done, evenings and weekends, like it is for a lot of kind of hobbyists and indie devs out there. So I had that kind of cushion. I knew it didn't have to make money, so I had that luxury of being able to say, I don't need to care about day one sales. I don't need to care about wish lists. I can just do that. And also, I'd funded on Kickstarter, so by that point, and they go like, it's already paid for. Like anything I get in sales over and above that it's a more great.
Yeah.
And as a solo dev, my overheads are like nothing. I think like the whole cost of of making Lucy Dreaming was about £500, and that was kind of software license.
I'm guessing that if it's
saying.
£500, if we translate it in Canadian dollars, it's about 3.5 million. But
yeah.
I'm guessing that you're not counting the time that you put in.
Yeah.
Right.
No, my time's worthless. So that's
There
no,
you go.
no, exactly.
That's-
No, if I was I chart out as
You're being
as a
censored.
designer.
You're being censored
Yeah,
by
I
your Discord. You
Who's what?
Yeah, your Discord censored
Yeah,
you.
you just
That
got
was a
out
secret that we
when
were not supposed
you
to
were
hear.
about to expose secrets about the inner working of your
Probably the
working schedule.
sensitivity on your Discord is higher, and you've just like went mute when you tried to say something.
Did I?
Yes.
Oh, what did I? Oh, I was going to say
You
what
were
did I try and-
explaining
what
the
you did say, we
secrets
didn't
of
hear
your
it.
time. We were like, if I was counting my, and then it was silence.
I can't remember. Oh yeah, so if I was kind of counting my time on this, obviously it'd be ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I'm not being censored anymore. Am I? Okay. So the other thing, so in terms of marketing, that was the kind of strategy. That was actually what I want to do is I want to be in a position where building it up slowly.
Yeah.
I'm not I'm building a point and click adventure game. I'm not after the next Hollow Knight. So I know it's niche. I know it's going to be low numbers, but if it can be sort of in the top, sort of, better than average of the pack.
But you were aware of your
fine.
market too. That's a really important thing. Most indie dev just go straight into, I want to do that because that's the game I want. They do it, and then they realize that there's no one at the time waiting for that game.
Well, that is sort of what, because I wanted to make a point and click game, and then I quickly did realize there aren't an awful lot of people who want to play point and click games, but I kind of didn't care. But also, it is a niche, but it is enough of a niche to sustain
it's a big
the low number of games.
Yeah. It's a passionate.
It's a passionate community.
Yeah.
And that's because I'd funded on, like I said, because I funded on Kickstarter. That was fine. So I'd covered, like I said, I'd covered my costs. As far as I kind of treated, I didn't. So the business model for gaming is very, very different to what I'm used to. I'm used to, as I'm sure you are working in marketing, that you have a client, they come to you with a brief, you tell them how much it will cost, they say yes or no, and if they say yes, you do the work, and then they give you the money, and then that's it.
And then you go on to
you got paid for what you did. Whereas with games, it's like you can get government funding, you can get a publisher, you can crowdfund it, you can try and invest your own money and look out for day one sale, or look out for kind of unit sales at the end. There are different ways of kind of tackling it, but I wanted to tackle it as close to the business model that I'm used to as possible. So I said, right, if I do it on Kickstarter, if I don't fund on Kickstarter, I'm probably still going to make the game, but I'll take my time over it, and I won't have anyone kind of beating down my door if I've not done it yet. So I'd probably still be faffing about with it now. But I wanted to.
I'm going to put numbers in that situation, Jess, because I've just made a bit of a research. I didn't know about the Kickstarter. I've got the Year of the Dog Kickstarter page in front of me.
That did better than Lucid Dreaming. So if you like, they didn't both do similar. Yeah, but it did do quite well.
Let me be impressed.
So since I'm from Canada, I get the Canadian numbers. So probably
they look more impressive.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you went over the 100,000 Canadian dollars.
Oh,
mark
that's cool. Good job.
on a 28,000 ask. So that's like 300%.
Congrats. That's good job.
Yeah.
So
Kickstarter is not easy.
I'm quite happy with that.
No,
Kickstarter is not easy. It looks way simpler than it is, and it takes way more time than people think. So
it's the hardest I've ever worked in my life at running those two Kickstarters.
It's insane.
It's
not push a button and then wait for the money to flow in.
Yeah.
That's not that.
Yeah, it is an investment. But it's so making sure that when I'm posting about it, I kept a folder which had all the different graphics that
Yeah.
I'd made for all my social posts. And
Johnny,
there's
Johnny wants to know what it takes to do a Kickstarter, so you go explain it all if you want.
Oh man, alive!
It's
You know
not
what?
Journey, it's Jarny.
Johnny, that's what
Right.
I said. I'm
Well, I mean, you
pronouncing
need to-
badly.
yeah.
Johnny.
So I'm gonna defer to somebody else on this one. I read a book. I recommended that book to Jonas Fish Prim as well, and he read it and he followed it to the letter. I followed it to the letter.
yeah.
I recommended it to. I
What's
recommended
the
it
name
about-
of the book?
It's called The Crowdfunder's Strategy Guide, and it's written by a guy called Jamie, which is Jamey, I think. Stegmeyer, Ste, might have an I in it. Gmeyer, and he doesn't make
And now
video games.
Jess is like,
Spelling in
well, I'm gonna
English.
figure it out.
It's spelling in English. I don't know how to spell in English.
But crowdfunder strategy guide.
Perfect.
That's the
That I can write.
That's fine. I would stop making up phonetic letters for you. But he doesn't. So he's a guy who doesn't do video games, but he does board games.
Oh,
And he's written this book, and he's got a blog which is kind of free to. I know the blog is vast.
Thank you, Johnny.
Yes. Oh, there you go. Oh, it's MAI.
perfect.
Oh,
Oh, that wasn't you. It was me not understanding the letter.
no, that was also me.
Oh, yeah,
You were
I mean,
probably
she
writing it
cannot-
correctly because
yeah.
I was saying it wrongly.
We've got like a different spelling for different sounding letters for
Yeah.
every one.
yeah,
that
exactly.
You
They're
do.
all
So
yeah, it's like some sort of code.
I mean, E is I.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
I'm like
Can get
brain.
repeatedly.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So
But that as
yeah,
a
you-
so I I just did a bit of research and found that, and I bought it on wasn't I? But I just had the audio book, and I used to go cycling, and I just kind of listened to that, and I've recommended it to another 3 or 4 people who, and of the ones I know who read / listened to it all and followed the advice in it, they have all funded successfully
that's
and
cool.
overfunded. It's a really, really
I need that book.
fantastically written. It's
Yeah,
not,
we need that book.
I'm leaving. I'm gonna go buy the book.
yeah. But at the beginning of each chapter, there's like a bullet pointed list of like, this is what's in this chapter. These are the things you need to take away from it. These are things you need to remember. So actually, when you're kind of trying to remind yourself just before you launch, you go, hang on a minute, what was that? And you can flick to it and go, oh yeah, that was it. I haven't. It's like a little checklist.
That's cool.
And it's brilliant. So that will tell you everything you need to run a successful Kickstarter. And I think in the first chapter, I think like the first sentence in the book is like, stop, just you're not ready.
Yeah,
It's
no.
like, if you, and that's it. It's like it before if you're just thinking you've got your idea and you want to go on Kickstarter, just stop, because it is all about building your community beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
If you build up your community beforehand, you don't. And I spoke to the head of games at Kickstarter as well at the time, and was sort of asking her about it. And there's a couple that it mentions in the book that I kind of questioned her about, and one of them is don't launch at a weekend.
No.
So my first thought was I was going to launch it over the Easter weekend, I think, because it was bank holiday on either side in the UK.
Yeah.
So it's like it's 4 days off. Thinking like people are going to be there, they're going to be at home, browsing the net and looking for stuff to spend money on, and they're going to see it. And we've got this kind of Easter egg Easter thing. Yeah, that'll kind of work. And one of the things in the book is just Jesus, just don't do that.
No.
Not at a weekend. They've got stats. And this is why I kind of asked her about, and they said they at Kickstarter, they can see the success of different ones. And there is a huge trend, not a guarantee, but if you launch your campaign and you end your campaign on a Tuesday or Wednesday, you are like 20% more likely to fund or something. Like, it's stupid. And I was like, why is this? And they're like, we don't know. It just is.
There's probably a lot of people that do it on the weekend would make it like there's more thing to see, but it's probably also that people in the middle of the week, they feel like they're bored
Well, I think
and they
it's-
want to buy something.
That's it. I think it's like, so you've got your weekend. You're at home. You're doing your own thing. looking to buy video games, you're probably playing video games if you're interested in that sort of thing. Monday, you're having a shit time at work, catching up with everything. Tuesday, you're like, okay, I've caught up on Monday. I'll sit and have a going on. And and I think that's it. It's that kind of midweek sort of slump, and people just like, well, I'm looking to kind of keep ticking over, and that just seems to be that's what works. So
I've got another
little things
theory.
like that.
Is there a like unofficial payday in the UK?
What kind of like at the end of the month and things like that?
Oh yeah, all right, okay. Because we get like if it's been a while since I've been like on an actual payroll, but
yeah, me too.
The usual way to like do it is usually on Thursday.
Yeah, every other week on Thursday.
So you get your money
in the UK. That's pension day. So if like for point and click games, yeah, because they're all like 60 something. Like me. No, I'm not quite that old.
Yes, you're 60.
I'm getting there.
Speaking to a marketing guy, dude, how come you didn't sponsor the pension payday? Like this pension payday is brought to you by Lucid Dreaming.
Oh, yeah,
buy it now on Steam.
Yeah,
you know.
But I think maybe that's probably slightly over egging the kind of 70 to 80 to 90.
We're getting there, dude. Market. We're getting there.
I think give us another like 10 or 20 years. That's definitely going to be viable because that'll be me. But it's been it's little things like that have just been really interesting to kind of pick up along the way. But it was hard work. So it was making sure when I posted on social media, and like I said, I had these social, and I had like over, I think 300 or 400 individual social media images that I've used on different things throughout that. And this is only like a 28-day period. So that's like more than 10 a day that I'm like putting these things out, like just random, like just every. So what can I do that's about the fact that it's British, the fact that it's a comedy, the fact that it's retro, the fact that it's pixel art, the fact that it's a girl protagonist, the fact that it's about dreams, any angle that I can think of, stick it out there with hashtags and just see what sticks. And then anything that's any comment that I kind of made the commitment to myself, not like out loud, that I would respond to every single comment. And I've done this for both Kickstarters, and not just copy and pasting the same response. So like actually responding.
That's work. That's work.
Exactly. And it's little things like if you've got especially on Facebook, you get a lot more comments on things on Facebook generally post, and there are some really good point and click Facebook pages which are really supportive of indie devs. And you post things and you get kind of comments on there, but making sure that just little things like I nearly always sign off a comment emoji of some kind, usually like whether it's just a thumbs up or a little heart or a smiley face or something, and it's not using the same emoji over and over again. It's making sure little things like mixing. So you got a little starry eyes, but you got the hearts, and you got and people. There's just that sort of knowing that it's not the same thing happening over. It's just little things like that I think really matter.
Yeah, I
agree. Whether it translates into cash or whether it's just a waste of my time, I don't know. But I do feel that that's what I want to be. That's how I want other people to
other
know
than a
I'm
money
bothered.
sign, it's you. Like people
I
are
don't use
gonna
that emoji,
know
like little dollar signs.
they know that you're trying. You're gonna make effort to reach out. You're gonna be part of it. So Nuri is saying it does matter a lot. And
I think
as Johnny
so.
make
I
people
know,
feel heard.
It's the amount of work I might work as a community manager, and the amount of work that you put on making each and every person feel just a tiny little bit more special than they were when they first wrote those lines. That's the only thing that matters.
And you do when you're doing sending a lot of responses to messages and comments the whole time. You have to rely on, like, you can't just write a whole paragraph for everyone because there's just not enough hours in the day. But making sure that like the animated GIFs and the emojis are brilliant for that, because you're able to go, wait, you're getting a GIF from Blackadder, you're getting one from Peep Show, you're getting one from or whatever it is, and it's making sure that they're kind of they feel tonally right.
I took a time to answer you specifically. It's not just like me copy pasting anything. Yeah, definitely.
So, but the other thing that the book sort of said that was I thought was really important was before you kind of start, follow and well back some other projects. It doesn't need to be at a can just be I just want $1, whatever it is. That's all I'm backing on. But you get the updates, so you get the backer updates, and that inside knowledge of how that system works from the other side is really valuable. So it says, right, follow these projects, follow like maybe 5 or 10 projects over a month, and see how you feel about them. So at the end of it, you're going, right, this one's not sent me a single update. This one sent me 3 a day. That's too much. That's not enough. How much is enough? Like, this person said this. I love the fact that they said that. Oh, isn't that really interesting? This one sent me this one was just text. It was a bit boring. Like, that sort of inside knowledge of going, how did I feel from the other side of the table receiving these, and then making notes on that and go, that's the algorithm that's the formula I'm going to use. I'm going to do it this often. I'm going to make sure there's always this kind of content. Make sure it's always personable. When people back a Kickstarter, they want your game, they want your product, whatever it is, but really they're putting their money behind a person and making sure that that you are that person. And it's, if you are just too corporate and you kind of try to talk yourself out, and I think a lot of indie devs fall into this trap with when they're approaching when they're talking to like journalists and they're talking to potential publishers, is they sort of pretend that they're bigger than they are. They kind of they talk as as if they are this sort of third person. And it's like, don't just like, I'd much rather send like a message, connect, find journalists that I think might be interested, and send them something I think will be funny, or send them something like that, or just kind of get chatting to them about something else, and then they kind of go, oh, this is just a person, and then you send them a message, say, oh, I noticed you wrote about this. I thought you'd like this. No worries if not. Also, anything you can kind of go, oh, I noticed you're really into this. Here's a picture of this, or here's or something that kind of gives you a little bit of an in. And then just if they've got their kind of the DMs are like hidden so they don't get any notifications, then you kind of send them another message on Twitter or Blue Sky, whatever it is, and just say, just send you a DM, hope you don't mind. That's it. And it's just, and then we've had so much better results doing that than if we had sent an email out to everyone saying, like, trying to make out that we're like a AAA studio. And
that's something that I think some studio realize that more and more, but the big part of being an indie is the human behind that you can showcase and that you can share and be part of that community. AAA, the developer are not part of the community. They're just far away. So you need to accept who you are, what you can bring to the table, and just embrace it. Don't try to be something else. You're not going to be able to be that AAA or those big names. So, but that's true. When I was reaching out, at some point, someone was telling me, I think it was the girl from Kickstarter that I spoke to, and she was like, just reach out to people and say, just wanted to showcase what we're working on. There's nothing to say or nothing to do. Just wanted to put it on your radar, and so you can take a look if you want, but don't mind if it's not the case. But you can share name so they know you a bit when you're going to send the next one. But that's true. Just talking about something else that they wrote is even better, because you're not just promoting yourself.
And also, I've spoken to quite a few journalists who they said that they'll get because that's the thing. If you have this sort of relationship, you start this, you then get to talk to the journalists, and you're just chatting with them, and they get to know you, and you get to comment on the other stuff they're doing, and they comment on what you're doing. When you've got another game out, they go, oh, by the way, and they go, oh yeah, sure, I'll put something up on the website about that. But chatting to them, they'll get on this sort of trying to seem kind of bigger than they are. They'll get a lot of indie devs who will offer journalists the opportunity to apply for a Steam key. So like,
Oh no,
like,
that's the worst sentence to send to a journalist. You're already
it's
in a
like-
pile of like 300 emails just today.
it's like, just for God's sakes, it's, you know, and it's like, even in the subject of the email, just put Steam key attached. Oh, cool, that's easy. You know, it's like,
Say please and thank you. Don't give an opportunity to.
here's the key. Here's the reason you might like it. Here's a link to the press kit.
I think
Whatever.
I would have a theory about how it's so prominent because like during our 12-hour Spiral Steam anniversary for charity stream.
That's
That
a
was
way
the
too much
official
of a
name,
full
right?
name.
Yeah. I
Catchy.
wrote it in one word,
Yes.
so I know it
That's
now.
all. It's like, one, like German. It's all like.
We had a journalist with us at some point, and like she explained that she's receiving too many emails for her to go through, right? So if someone DMs her on Blue Sky, well, there's officially more chance to get noticed that
Yeah.
way.
A lot more cut through.
And I was like, yeah, but wouldn't it be like intrusive at some point? And she's like, well, right now it's not. Maybe it's gonna be at some point.
And then they
but-
block. A lot of them, you just cannot reach out to them that way.
What I find funny is that what you're describing as a strategy to get in touch with people that can push your content further along, is basically what the like 90s networking stuff was before, like the emails and before it's like, you just go in a room, be yourself, and talk to as much as
I know that they were not good at that.
Well, no,
That's
I
not
mean,
why they went in.
The
And it
issue
does-
is
It does
that-
depend on your personality as well, and it does.
Yeah, of course.
So it is. I've in my kind of previous life as a sort of marketer, I have dealt with enough people in different roles, in different sizes of company, and different to kind of to get the fact that, you know, how they're feeling, things like that, and it's. I suppose it's just sort of, it's just the kind of an email or a message or anything that is genuinely written by a human. Nowadays will stand out because it doesn't. You can tell straight away if something's been copied and pasted, and like there are journalists who will expect a press release to be, you know,
copy and paste it. Yeah.
you know, saying, you know, there's only so much you can do. So we kind of have our spreadsheet. And this is where Emma's brilliant. This is my wife. Where we kind of, so when we released Lucid Dreaming, it was originally we were going to release it a couple of weeks earlier, 2 or 3 weeks earlier, I can't remember exactly. And then we got word that Return to Monkey Island was basically coming out on pretty much the same day. So we sent exactly. So we sent a message out to everyone on Kickstarter saying, like, sorry, I know we said we're going to launch on this day, but we're not idiots. So you're going to have to wait. But also, in the meantime, you can play Monkey Island, get that out of the system, and you can look at that, and you can enjoy it and do that, and then you'll have this to look to after. And what that meant was that suddenly we were able to stalk any journalists who even had a passing interest in point and click. So who may not have written about it for years, but they were going to write about Monkey Island. So you go to all the different outlets and all the different magazines. You think, right, who's the person who wrote that? Who's the person who wrote that? Find their name, find them on Twitter, follow them,
that's
do this,
great.
you know, and basically creating a kind of a hot, warm, cold sort of list, like who's sort of interested in these. And it was really convenient because the excavation of Hobbs Barrow also came out a few weeks or a week or so before that. So the same thing again, got loads of coverage. 2 of the biggest adventure games that have kind of released in recent times.
Oh yeah.
Just before, you know, we did.
That's
So
great. You have like new warm data, because when you like try
Exactly.
to find someone to write about what you're doing, and you're like, yeah, but the last time they wrote about something that was kind of like my game was 4 years ago. I don't know if they
Yeah.
still want that.
No, so that was really handy to be able to have that kind of no, not everyone kind of responded, but also some people did, and that was great. The one thing I will say, although it's fantastic for your ego, having kind of column inches in magazines, especially sort of bigger magazines, you go, oh yeah, and I've screenshotted them all and I've set them all, and I've
it's
got the links
important
because it's nice to be able to go, oh, somebody liked it. You know, I don't save the ones that they didn't like it. That's fine. As if there's been
no one didn't like it. They all like
No.
it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. That's my memory of it. So, but obviously I keep it. But there is a limit to what the impact is. That I find weirdly, I feel like the kind of the exposure you get from the press coverage is fine, and that it will give you a little bit of a. But what's been really nice is recently we released Lucid Dreaming on PlayStation and was able to put another trailer forward, and it was nice being able to go back through some of the reviews we'd had and pull out quotes and contact all the journalists, say, do you mind if I say this, or do you mind if I say that, and be able to have them on there and do another little chat, these kind of the star ratings and the quotes and that, and that I feel really helped, because that then got put on PlayStation global YouTube channel as well.
Yeah,
which got a load of eyeballs, and just that was really good to be able to have. It's almost taking the that sort of what's the word? Praise, you know what I mean? That sort of accreditation, whatever. And
our game does exist. People played it. People liked it. That's the proof.
It's a validation.
I'm always amazed.
From what I understand, people when they release on console, it's a really really amazing like second win for the game, and it's making a lot of visibility for the PC version too. Just because you're releasing on more console and there is less release on those.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there is more players in the, like, statistically there is more player on consoles than on PC,
but we don't see data of it.
There's less indie game coming out on those platforms, so technically it should not be PC first. It should be console first and then PC. But
but porting.
Yeah, and also with like point and click, it's a very different thing, because it's as an interface.
Yeah,
it doesn't lend itself brilliantly
that's true.
Are you using the touchpad on the PlayStation for the mouse? Are you?
Don't think that's what I don't know. I've not tested it. I don't know what. No, I don't think
I was gonna ask, are you the one porting the game? The answer is no.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm doing it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I've got all my dev kits over behind
Oh,
me.
great.
Johnny,
Yes.
on the on the stat side, mobile is unfortunately on top of console and PC. I've read numbers this morning, and it's still. I don't remember the mobile, but it's 32 for console and 23 for PC.
The other advantage, now I don't know what it's like in Canada, but Apple also have a small business program. So if you sign up to it, and if your revenue is like less than $1 million a year or something like that, then
which is most of us.
Most of us. Then you are eligible for their small business program, which means they take a considerably lower cut. So I think they take about 10 or 15% rather than 30%.
Yeah.
I was like, are they putting money in front? No, they're just taking a smaller cut.
Yeah. Yuri is saying that if games go console first, she's gonna be rioting about it. So don't push that idea too far, because she's not gonna be happy about it.
So I published a thing on Twitter a few weeks ago, which was this is before I ported to PlayStation, so I haven't got that data in there. But it was basically it wasn't figures, but it was percentages of percentage of revenue. Steam versus GOG versus Android versus iOS versus Switch versus Xbox for my game, because I thought it might help other point
Definitely.
for game developers to kind of work out whether it's worth it or not.
It's really, really sweet when people share those kind of data.
But iOS, comparable to Steam.
Oh.
Are you serious for real?
In terms of revenue.
Okay.
Not in terms of unit sales, but overall, it's catching up because our overall, and I don't know if it's just the algorithm in the App Store is just fairer to indie games, but it's than Steam is, but it's consistently the amount that we get every month from iOS is sort of fairly steady, weirdly, for the last couple of years.
Cool.
Whereas with Steam, it's like, oh, it's a sale!
Yeah.
It's a sale! Whereas
that's definitely exactly what it is.
Whereas with I mean, Android has just been through the floor. Well, I've actually removed it from Google Play Store.
Oh, yeah. For real?
Yeah, people on Android they
don't pay for a thing.
No, they would rather have microtransactions and in-app purchases, and that's how things are monetized, and that's what they're used to. The idea of paying £15 or whatever for a game just completely
doesn't make sense for them.
So we've sold hardly any copies there at all. PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch all together are probably amount to slightly more than Steam, but it's like Steam and iOS are definitely up there. Okay. I've also started working on another game last year, which is which is a kind of a kids musical game called Adventures of a Cat in Space. We got featured on the App Store for that, and the number of impressions. So it's just the demo, but the number of impressions we had on the demo is like, it's like 2.5 million or something. Oh my
god!
The amount of downloads is like 100,000 downloads. It's just insane. It's stupid. But so the amount of if you can manage to leverage, and being featured in the App Store is just one way of doing it. There are other ways that Apple will support you. If you can manage to leverage that to a degree, there is an good amount of success that can come from launching on iOS if you can. The disadvantages that point and click has on consoles is mitigated by the advantages it has on touchscreen.
Yeah.
So on touchscreen, especially with the interface that I use is an old school kind of LucasArts style interface. The whole interface is visible the whole time. It's literally, I want to look up this, talk to this, and it's literally everything's visible the whole time. Anything you can do with the mouse.
On the technical side of it, you've been like the interface, the UX is easier to work in on a touch screen. But how about like the actual processing power? How hard is it to port, let's say, Lucy is Dreaming on a smaller device?
Old iPads and the Switch are probably the ones that you're going to have the trouble with the most in terms of kind of throttling. So the Lucy Dreaming and Air of the Dog, no problem at all. It's 480 by 270. It's like even my biggest animation, like it's like a GIF. It's like nothing. the whole of Lucy Dreaming, the whole game size is about 300 megabytes, and that's
for real.
That's including all the music and over I can't remember, it's over 11,000 lines of dialogue. That's like recorded, and that's it. It's tiny.
It's perfect. So nobody with brilliant. A potato computer is like, no, I cannot play the game.
No, exactly. It's really, really kind of low sort of CPU usage. It also means that if I need to do a day one patch, it's fine. I can upload it in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And kind of get it everything. It's only Nintendo Switch that's a real pain for patching stuff because they just their internal processes take so long. I can patch on Xbox, Steam, PlayStation, iOS, usually all within an afternoon if I need.
That's
and then I'll wait 3 months for Switch to catch up. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's really handy. But I have also other devs using the same game engine as me. I've been helping them with console port as well. So there was another game which came out. It was one of the earliest games that was created with the game engine I use. It's called Stasis. So they released another game called Stasis Bone Totem recently, which was a sequel. But the original Stasis was created using Visionaire Studio. But the devs of that, now it's two brothers, they're no longer interested in using Visionaire Studio. They use Unreal. I think they used for their latest game. I can't remember if they used Unreal or Bone Totem, but they've moved on. But I chatted with them, met them at AdventureX, adventure game conference in the UK, which I am now one of the organisers of as well.
You are?
So, because I've not got enough things to do. So there's a team of organisers. I am.
You've got a great team.
I'm not
You're
the main
really
organizer either. So I'm kind of I am helping with kind of the marketing and helping with.
They're just really sweet. I've had a couple of interaction in the email exchange at some point, and I like them. So love.
I chatted with them there, and they port to consoles. So there's a couple of devs I've helped with porting their game, and they are, because they weren't pixel art games. There are a lot more things that I had to worry. So there were shaders that I had to worry about a bit more. They're a bit more intensive. There were video codecs and certain things that you have to declare. If you're using certain codecs, you have to declare them on some systems and not on others. Different audio codecs as well vary. I've managed to find I managed to find one combination of a video and audio codecs which works across all of them, across all platforms. So that's fine. I've got one central build for that. That's fine. But there was one that they had animation. One of them, Stasis, had animations in which run far. I mean, bear in mind it's probably, I don't know, 8 to 10 years old, and it ran on PCs then fine. It runs on PCs now like a dream. Try and stick it on a Switch, and it just goes.
Switch is something else.
So I just had to. And I mean, that's it's only 1280. I think it's not like it's not like 4K. So, but it's because the animation, it's fine playing the videos, but because the animations in the game are PNG, if they want to run at a really fast frame rate, it just can't cope. So there was like a couple of scenes where this character's running through a scene and things just keep exploding everywhere. And as if in, just emphasize the fact that it's exploding, the Switch just also explodes while you're trying to process it. The smoke starts coming out. Oh my god, this is so immersive. And it catches fire.
So
like,
meta.
my god, it's like it's real. My fingers are burning. So that was basically going through and optimize, so taking out every kind of second frame of every animation, kind of, and then changing the frame rate to match it, running that through it, seeing if it breaks it again, cutting out more frames, and literally trying to optimize it down like that because it just couldn't. So those are the only kind of issues really I've had.
Okay. I would like to add, since you and I share the oldie nostalgia.
The oldness.
The oldness, yeah, that's what I heard too.
We share the oldness.
Yeah,
my back.
You can put it however you want. Your game, Lucy is Dreaming, would...
Did you say dreaming?
Take, Lucy Dreaming, sorry. Would take...
Research.
208 floppy disks.
Oh. That's a floppy disk. I have
I'm using someone did a floppy disk calculator.
Brilliant.
On the web. You can say so
is that HD floppy disks, or is that
it's 144 1.4 like 1.5 megabytes per disk.
So the HD ones, okay, that makes sense. How many did you say?
And that is going to come again, sorry?
Did you say it was 240 or something?
208.
208.
Yeah,
that sounds about
you would
right.
have had some either one with half of the stuff in it. But I mean, 200 floppy disks would put you up to releasing your game, put it in box. Let's say that you have an inventory. You in the 90s would have to lay something like £500,000 to just produce your game. So
I'm from the kind of post CD-ROM era though, so that's
fine. What I would ask you though is, you've played Monkey Island, you've played Days of the Tentacle and stuff like that. Those games are as long, if not. I did not play Lucid Dreaming, so I cannot tell. But like,
You should be ashamed. I'm gonna say it like I did. Not yet. We didn't have time.
Right.
Oh, it was nice meeting you. We love you.
Oh, that's how we. Oh,
You
okay.
bastard.
Well, no, but I mean, we're still in the technical spectrum, and I'm sorry, chat, because it's not the most interesting part. But
Depends
do
for
you
you.
know? Do you have a theory on how they could manage to fit so much data into like a 5 floppy box set?
Well, I mean, so obviously your things like your music would have been MIDI based for a start. The resolution would have been probably even smaller. Would have been like
300 by something,
240 by, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It would have been much smaller, and you wouldn't again, audio and sound effects would have been kind of probably MIDI based as well. So that would all be absolutely tiny. I mean, guessing no, the image. So you've got a much more limited color palette. So if I was optimizing every single image that I had in using a different compression format, which took into account and it sort of took advantage of the fact that it was a limited color palette. So I've got like, I use a full color palette.
Okay.
If I wanted to scale it down to 16 EGA colors or 256 VGA colors, for example, I could use a different compression method if the game engine supported it, would allow me to do that. And at a lower resolution, that would be considerably smaller as well. That's all I can kind of imagine. I mean, it's
I
don't know how much extra weight is added by the game engine itself, just within the executable, just within that. I think there's a. I think if I just export like an empty file, I think it's still like 20 megabytes just off the bat, just because there's so much kind of stuff there for me to use, which I'm probably never going to use, but it's all there just to kind of wrap it. So obviously, if you're creating your own game from scratch, you've got control over.
Well, there is absolutely no market for it, but I'm giving you this challenge. Make
I could do it in
Lucid
Flash.
Dreaming. Make it so that I can put it on a cartridge and put it on my SNES.
Are you gonna pay for all of that?
I was really hoping to so I downloaded GB Studio as well because I really wanted to like a Game Boy game, and then I got distracted by doing Air of the Dog. So I really do want to make it because I've got a Game Boy, I've got a Game Boy Color, and I'm currently working my way through Oracle of Ages again, Zelda Oracle of Ages on the Game Boy Color at the moment. So that's what I'm currently playing, and I'd love to make a Game Boy point and click game. So there's one came out recently, which is called Inspector Waffles. It's like a prequel. So there was Inspector Waffles, which is a point and click game about a cat, made by a French guy called Yann. Again, I've times. And then the new one, it's called like but it's again, that's on. You can download it on Steam and play it through an emulator. I've got a Game Boy Color cartridge version that I kind of got. And I haven't opened it yet. I really want to play it. Like it's sealed. It's like,
Just put a QR code to the actual Steam page and a Steam.
That's it.
Garni, you're on to something.
That's it. That's it. You got to think outside.
That's not a bad idea. Next packs that we're doing our card will be floppy disk.
Cool.
Are you doing a physical release? Have you done physical release stuff?
No, we didn't.
Sadly, no. No.
It's so much fun. Some people hate it. Some people are like do it once and then go never again, never doing that
How
again.
can you hate that? I want a physical copy. I don't mind about the pain behind it.
Fund my
I know.
Kickstarter.
I have a small question, Kickstarter wise. A last one. When do you think is the right moment to? Because yes, you need a community, but do you think it's early before you're too into the game? Do you think in the middle before you release? Do you have like a preference? Do you think that there's a right moment to do it? Because you know everything on those sides.
My personal, okay. So I've seen successful Kickstarters work both ways. I've seen people run successful Kickstarters going out there saying, I've basically built this. Do you want it? And they will still fund to, I've seen them fund to like over £100,000 worth of, like twice what I've done. That was another point and click game, but it was, so they built it, but it's called Crenola's Mansion. And it was, but they were the Kickstarter was to fund the physical releases. So they'd already basically they built it for SNES, they built it for NES, they built it for Game Boy, they built it for PC, they built it for like so many different kind of consoles. And basically it was kind of ready to go. And they said, right, just choose which one you want. You can have this one, you can have a bundle, you can have free, you can do, and that was what Kickstarter kind of funded.
They used Kickstarter as a selling platform more than
basically like pre-orders.
Yeah.
So you go, well, I'm not gonna. It's pre, but I'm not. If a certain amount, I've not lost anything.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what I mean. That's the other thing. You kind of look at my Kickstarter, you go, wow, that's a big amount. Go, yeah, but a lot of that is there's physical, big boxes and so there's
how much does it cost?
Yeah.
Physical copies. Like one copy for you to make.
They don't do one copy.
No, I mean, like...
it depends what... So, okay, so...
Yeah, showcase.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm kind of jealous. I want those, like, cupboard.
Yeah, I agree.
Thing too.
Okay. I want to see the box. The box.
I have a spreadsheet. Okay, just give me a second.
It's serious stuff now.
Yeah, Johnny says, now comes the good stuff.
Now comes the good stuff. Here we go. Okay, so now, oh my god, you can. So, this is the original box that I did.
Oh my god, it's a big box too.
Yeah.
Does it open?
So this is
or is it a slide?
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like I'm a big box. So, and then different. So there's a kind of
Oh my god, I want it.
So there's a cassette version, but that's on that's a USB drive. So that's got the game loaded onto it, kind of on as it. Like that.
I'm in love with that thing. I want that box.
So these are things from in the game. They're like beer mats from. There's a pub in the game, and then there's like a bar in one of her.
Oh my god.
There's kind of art book, things like that, which is all stuff about the kind of the kind of making. Oh, I had like comics and cartoons in there that I drew, like just sort of behind the scenes stuff.
Bear with me.
Postcards, badges, stickers. There's like this is a sticker sheet. There's like transparent stickers that you kind of do. They got like all the different like see that. So you got look at, talk to, pick up, and things like that, and then
yeah. All right, so you can like
you can do like look at oversized, irritating pheasant or something like that, and you can just stick them whatever you want. So those, so that kind of depends. It depends on how many. So the spreadsheet we've got has different kind of thresholds on it. So if you get over a certain amount.
Okay.
And then obviously because the more you order in bulk, the cheaper it gets. So you have to kind of go right. What's the minimum I can kind of cope with? That if I had to order like just one of everything, how much would that cost me? Or what if I had to order kind of 300? How much would that cost me? And obviously the price goes down dramatically. The more you got. So the USB cassettes. It depends. Again, I think with the kind of the amount that I'm ordering, they probably end up being about £7 or £8 each.
Oh, still.
But then, But then on obviously they're more than that on the Kickstarter because it needs to cover postage, it needs to cover packaging, it needs to cover the postage. Actually, no, the postage the postage is added on extra after that. But it also needs to cover like the making of the game. That's the whole point. Is the thing. So there's that. The boxes. I can't remember actually. Not maybe as much as you think. There are different ways of kind of funding boxes as well. So these ones are what's called a double wall box. So these come flat pack, and then I assemble them all and kind of put them all.
Oh, the joy!
And then I can send that. So it means I can store them much more easily.
Yeah.
And they are cheaper. If you want kind of hard board boxes, they are considerably more expensive because you need to have a die created to kind of cut through and then.
Yeah.
But I do know someone who has gone through that as well. So it really depends. And then obviously like things like paper-based stuff cheapest because if you want to put some postcards in or you want a poster or a map or something like that, this kind of nice paper stuff, that's a lot cheaper because it's really light, it's easy to send. You can get thousands of them printed for pence.
Yeah.
Things like that, other things that are more kind of bespoke are more expensive. So in the new box for Air of the Dog, we're putting a zoetrope in there, which I've kind of designed, but that's basically, and then you're going to have different animations that you can kind of put in there and spin it around, and you can kind of see the game. So there's variety, but it's like it can be as big or as small as you want it. Some people will just sell the game and they'll say, you get a big box, and you go, oh great, what's in it? And they go, it's just got a USB stick in it. I just wrap it
I mean that's
like,
that. Yeah, no. That's. I mean, if you're about to go retro, just go the whole way. I mean, I'm kind of sad that there's no like anti-piracy wheel thingy in the box too. That could have been a nice addition.
No, there are things. There's like don't look at there's like.
Oh, are you for real,
like
dude?
Like bargain games on there, but there's like a site for Lucy Dreaming, which is for the town that she lives in is called Figgington, and if you go to figgington.co.uk, there's a whole fake website for the town with like
that's great.
parish news. There's kind of like different references to different characters and their backstories in there. Like so, bargain games. It mentions they're like bargain games is down. Make sure you go and pick up your thing. But that's where the price label for bargain.
That's so cool.
Just little things that are kind of, which I always love that kind of that relating stuff in the real world.
Yeah. Pushing the
lore. It's got like an old school guest book on there as well. You can go and just sign the guest book.
I agree with Nuri. Amazing effort on there.
Yeah.
But that's what. Oh, and there's also, I think if you look in the source code, I think there's like ASCII art in there. Quite remember.
For real?
I love. Yeah, there is in the config file for the install the game and then look in the config file. There's like an ASCII loop generates. Because why not?
Because why not?
I love stuff like that. I did that with Every Dog as well.
No, it's really brilliant.
It's really cool.
You have.
So that's why you can tell I've had fun doing that as well.
Definitely.
That's really
yeah.
And I'm not fazed by sitting and ordering all these things, working out the prices for them. Emma kind of is, again, she's very organized. She's helped with all of that sort of thing and sort of working out the prices. What just like procurement, like how many of these do we need to order in order for it to be this price, how to be profitable, and then that informs how much the rewards are, because it's like, right, well, it needs to be that, and it needs to cover this, and it needs to add something, and you have that kind of margin in there, and that kind of gives you all the kind of reward level information you need as well. It's all just
on the Kickstarter, and I know you were saying that you did at that point because of your day job at that time. The first day release was not that important, but due to the Kickstarter, like when you're sending keys, since they cannot leave review and count towards that goal that you have, did you knew that in advance? Did you feel like it was getting? Yeah, okay, we're in the same boat.
No.
Did it bite back?
No. It is annoying, but it's also I've already got their money. So as far as I'm concerned, the profit margin on the units per game, units for the Kickstarter were considerably higher overall than I would have got
Done from Steam, yeah.
from Steam. So yes, if all of the Kickstarter reviews also counted towards the algorithm, I'd be a lot closer to getting the overwhelmingly positive 500 reviews. But I still don't think I'd quite be there. So I'd just be even more annoyed that I'm like, because I've got 241 reviews. So I'm almost there. But also, like
it's part. We learn. But I was wondering if it was something you knew.
No, I didn't know that, but I did know it going into the latest Kickstarter, and I still did it, and I'd still do, and I'd do it again because that, as far as I'm concerned, I prefer to know that I've already funded my time on it in advance, and anything on Steam over and above that is fine. And also, that's just Steam.
Yeah.
So as previously stated, it has the Kickstarter rewards has no effect on iOS reviews, no effect on any of the console stuff, and that altogether is probably almost twice Steam.
Yeah.
So although Steam is the biggest in isolation, spreading it over more platforms means that it's a little bit chipped off one of the revenue streams. So it's and also I think a lot of indie devs get really obsessed. This is the same like in marketing with SEO. Everyone was obsessed about trying to work out what the algorithm's doing. Oh, why isn't my page first on Google? Why is Steam not showing my game to the because there will be things that you can do, but also you can waste months, years of your life chasing that algorithm, and just working yourself up into a stupor and getting more and more angry and just getting to other devs about it. Oh, I'm really...
It's not personal. We should all learn to not take it personal. It's not. Yeah. It's a business. We're making game. We're selling game. We cannot control any of that. We can try our best to be in front of people's eyes, but it doesn't mean anything. There's no point to be mad or to being mad at player because they don't see you. They don't see you. Period.
No, and that's the thing. I think it's yes. I'd be a really bad marketing guru if I said to people, "Don't bother."
No, you need to bother.
You need.
Please do.
If you want to have a hit on Steam, you need to play Steam's game. Absolutely.
Yeah.
In terms of the reviews, in terms of putting your tags on there, in terms, whatever Steam wants you to do. But there are limits to that, and you've got to understand where you and your game sit. And after it being, if it hasn't blown up for some magical reason that no one can predict it, the chances are it's not going to suddenly be discovered, and you're going to put so much effort into just getting angry and trying to tweak it. And actually, just I don't know, there are other ways of you go and do events, go and chat to people, go and keep things positive, keep reminding yourself,
build your community around you and not just the game at that point. So your next one is gonna do better.
Yeah. And that's exactly. So it's very easy. It's very seductive to get obsessed about wish lists, to get obsessed about the algorithm.
Everyone's telling you should. So
yeah, and like somebody, and then also you go right. Everyone says, well, you need at least 7,000 wish lists. No, you need 10,000 wish lists. Oh no, you need 20,000 wish lists. Oh, actually, it doesn't matter how many wishes you have. It's how many wishes you have in the week going up to the thing that matters.
Yeah. That's the old. I mean, it was like the day before the release or the day after the release. Like, I came into the Folklore Games team late in the effort of pushing that game out, and one of the first meeting we had was like, so we need 10 positive reviews in the first 24 hours for and I'm like, I'm a community manager. If I cannot get 10 positive reviews in the first hour, I'm going to judge myself. You know what?
How much did you judge yourself?
Anything for indie games before, right? I swear to God, that was like the worst day
it's
of
like
my
pulling
life.
teeth, honestly. Trying to get People who tell you how much they love your game, and they'll go on Twitter, or they'll go on Facebook and go,
Oh,
I
yeah.
loved your game. It's brilliant. Have you left a review? Nah. I'll do it next week.
Copy and paste.
Do it now.
I'm
But you'll
running
forget.
out.
I know you look at the play number. You go, how many people have played your game? And you go, if only 10% of these people left a review, I'd be fine. But like, no, honestly, it's just and it's kind of embracing that as well. It's
Yeah,
like, that's just people.
Yeah, there are.
We love you, Nuri.
Yeah, Nuri. I mean,
Don't feel called
Nuri,
out.
ZC, like all of our community that we built, who got the game for free because they are content creators. They actually, and there are ours. All right, we don't share them with anyone.
No, we share them. Because
They
they love great game.
Yeah, they love great game. It's a joke. But
And they were excited about seeing them.
they went so above and beyond. And I did not, I swear to God, I did not call that, right? But they went on Steam, bought the game to leave a review that would count in the, I mean,
that's what I do. It's to devs that I genuinely like, and I genuinely want to succeed. Even if I have backed them on Kickstarter, even if they say to me, you want a Steam key, it's like, no, I want to buy your game.
Yeah.
Because I know that means more to them than anything else that I could do at that stage.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Incredible.
PC, just to answer Johnny in the chat, on Steam, the Steam page is going to show you've played the game for that amount of time. Would you like to do a review? So they're trying, but yeah, in game, I don't know if people do that in game. I think it would be a bit like, you're ending my game, please review. I'm not sure
With
Steam,
you're not
easy.
You're not allowed to.
You're not? Oh.
It's against the team's their terms of service to kind of try and encourage people to leave reviews. Even so, one of the most effective ways I found of getting people is to put a news article on Steam saying, leave a fucking review. And people they go out and they go, oh, there's a message from Lucy Dreaming in my library. I'll have a look. Oh yeah, I meant to do that.
They're shaming me.
But that is against Steam's terms of service. I'm not technically allowed to do.
Oh,
I'm not allowed to. No. But I don't think you're allowed to do it in game either. You're not allowed to.
Yeah, it would. I think it would work.
That would have been
in theory.
Right.
I think it's even against their terms of service to ask people on social media. So I think you're not allowed at any point to engage with people and ask them.
I'm gonna disrespect that rule forever. I'm gonna still ask people on social, please review if you like the game, or even if you didn't, because even a negative review is still a review that's gonna count on it at some point.
Yeah. I mean,
but be constructive.
So it's in the chat. So mobile games often asked to post a review. Would that work on consoles? So on. So Switch, you can't even leave reviews on anyway. So in the Switch store, you can't leave. People can't leave reviews. So that's sort of nice in some ways, because the reviews is one of the nicest and also most horrible parts of being an indie dev, because that's where like people don't like something, they don't hold back, and it gets you like right here. And if people like it, sometimes people will kind of gush over something. You go, oh, that's brilliant, makes it great. Most people just kind of go,
great,
right? Yeah. But if they don't like it, then they really make you know that they didn't like it, and it's hard. And that's if there was one thing that would ever stop me from releasing another game, it would be, I can't be to listen to deal with people who didn't like it. Like, just don't buy it. You know what I mean? And that's why I've always demo. You play the demo and you like it, and then you play the full game and you didn't like it. I don't really know what else I could have done. Like, the demo's like it, but
it was
also,
showing.
And also I think there's a few instances where I've had a couple of bad reviews, but they've picked up on something which I personally doesn't bother me, doesn't bother most people, but it might bother other people. And if people see their review and they go, you know what, I'm glad I caught that, because it means I won't buy it because that would have bothered me. Brilliant. Because that's another negative review that I've dodged.
Yes.
So as long as you're not getting like a huge influx of negative on stuff that you could technically fix, and people do tend to be reviews now as a way of kind of doing feature requests.
Yeah.
And it's like, actually, that's not what this game is. And it's like, oh, but well, if you had a and then I'll consider, changing my thing to a positive review. It's like you're trying to blackmail me to add features. Fuck off.
Okay, in your
No.
defense, over your 241 reviews, you've got 4 negatives.
That's great.
So I think
I think only one of them counts as a negative because the others are because they were Kickstarter or they received it.
Oh, I don't know. I don't see that though.
But the one that counted because I was watching because it was and it went down to 99 and one down to because of the mathematical algorithm, it uses a math floor rather than a math round, which so it rounds down rather than rounding up.
Yeah.
It's impossible now to ever get above 99%. I could have 1 billion reviews and it would always be, no, you're not quite 1 billion. It goes down to 999,900,000, or whatever it is. Yeah.
Oh, that's a point.
I would fight for it, but still.
So, but I was so sorry. I was saying about the reviews. So if you've got a lot of bad reviews, then that's fine. That might be something to address.
Yeah.
But if there's just 1 or 2 reviews about a very subjective thing that you go, I would never change that because that's just you don't like. I'd rather there wasn't a negative there. But if it stops another 10 negative reviews, and it means that people are going to avoid it for that reason, that's fine. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Like it doesn't.
That's
It doesn't
a couple
feel
of
good.
negative reviews that you won't have to deal with.
It's still your baby. You're not gonna like any negative review,
I
but
still don't, and it's still like I have to resist the urge to reply.
yes.
And I'm usually quite pragmatic. If I do reply, I'm usually kind of like, if that caused offense or if there's something really that was not mentioned, actually there's a reason for that, blah blah. But also one of the things that Steam tells you is do not engage with negative.
No.
Just don't do it because
you can if it's just to
reasonable you try to be.
rectify something, but other than that, let them be.
Yeah, exactly. If there's a bug and they say we found a bug, negative review, and then you respond with going, I've now fixed this.
Yeah.
Like brilliant, great. But like if it's on a subjective matter, just it's a losing battle. Don't even try. You're
It's not
just gonna
useful.
make things worse.
Don't feed the trolls.
Or just
Exactly.
people that are not happy about something and you cannot do anything about it. We
Yeah.
are closing on the end of it because Otto has a small woman
John,
coming.
quick fire questions. You can get all your other
But-
questions in that you meant to ask and I didn't let you.
Oh, it was great. No, I loved it. It was so interesting. I've learned so much. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
You're gonna have me in your DM.
It's a rare
you can
thing.
still back my Kickstarter. It's
Oh.
still accepting late pledges if you want.
Oh,
a
is it?
physical
Do you
box.
have a link? We're gonna put the link.
Hold on, I'm gonna send
Well,
you
you had the link.
Find
didn't
the
you,
link.
earlier?
Yeah,
That's true.
I'm
Do you want to put the link up?
There you go. And you can also get a
Thank you.
bundle, so you can get the big box for this game and the big box
Yes.
for Lucy Dreaming as well.
Yay.
I'm gonna put it straight in the
In
chat.
chat, yes. I have
Yeah.
been.
See, I did marketing. Well done, me.
Yes. Good job.
I did it. I didn't like turn my computer off and then go, shit, I should have said that. There you go.
All right. But now, before we end this
Your big question.
wonderful stream, I'm gonna say one thing. Tom, I know that there is no official release date on Ear of the Dog, from what I can see. I will not ask you to give us a release date
Because you will
or
not have
even a release window. What I will ask you, though, is to come back
Yes.
with us. Like, not the day of the release, not the day after the release,
bring-
but maybe like a week after.
I did
Alright.
do an interview call with someone on the day of release of my first
Oh.
Dreaming as well, and that was like, yeah, go on, why not? It's like I had no idea I was going to be this busy. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously,
But we're
we'll
cool.
all be
We're
we'll all
cool.
be
We can-
pensioners
we
by
can-
then, but
yeah.
yeah.
No, not until the
Yeah.
release. Don't do that to yourself, and we get it. But after that, if you want to
Yeah,
come back,
absolutely.
we'd like
Yeah.
that. We'd like to have you back. That
And
was
I mean,
really
I can.
great.
I'm happy to do it after the release, or I'm also happy to do it once I've kind of got everything ready, sort of where I'm
Perfect.
comfortable before the release, before I press the button, or something. I'm quite happy to kind of talk about.
Perfect.
I really, really want to have you back, Tom.
Yes.
It's
been really good fun.
delight
Yes,
to
it was great.
speak to you.
Yay!
And really interesting
Well,
for real. I've learned so much. So yeah, thank you for
Yeah.
that too.
I've seen, like, Jess
when
is,
we're
like,
gonna
looking at
won
it,
books, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be asking you where you got your.
That's it. This is it. So that's the end of my seminar on crowdfunding and marketing for indie devs.
Thank you.
It's called a dev talk, so
There
you've talked.
Yeah.
What I would like.
Yeah, you have to do it. You have to play my game. That's
Yes.
that's the deal. You
Well,
you want me
yes.
back? You play my game.
And we're gonna leave a review.
It's literally the least you can do.
Of course. And I used to be a big point and click guy, so shouldn't be too hard to fall back into it.
Exactly, Johnny. We're gonna do it. It was because of the. Just to be fair, I'm gonna explain it because we're in the ad break for like 17 seconds, so we're gonna dance while it's happening. Pew, pew, pew.
Can people see me?
They cannot
Yeah, they
see
still
us,
see you on
but
the side.
They can't.
Yeah.
They can't see us.
Yeah.
we're like
doing this
small
anyway.
in the corner. But we're not talking because we're reading 2, 1,
Yeah.
and then we're
Got
back.
30
Okay,
seconds.
hi
You
again,
should-
people.
I still don't understand Twitch. Like, I'm still new
Same.
to this. I don't know what's going on.
So I don't remember
too
what I
old for
was
this shit.
saying. What were we talking about?
That's my problem. I go in a room, no idea
playing-
what I
Oh,
want to
playing the game. Oh, it was because we were planning on our stream anniversary, and it was like 12 hours, and there was like so many things happening at the same time. So I didn't do anything I was supposed to do before. But next time we're gonna play your game for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Okay,
for being
so-
with us.
Hold on.
Go ahead,
We
go
still
ahead.
No.
have
We're not finished yet.
No, go ahead.
we still have like a
Yes.
solid 12 minutes.
Oh, cool. Go on.
cool,
Yeah,
okay.
go.
Great.
Quick fire.
Great. He's gonna speak.
Now,
Like, yeah.
after that segment, maybe you won't want to come back. And it's perfectly fine, Tom. All right?
But you can tell yourself that that question cannot pop out twice. So
So that's for sure. Yeah, that's a right thing. So you only have to go through this thing once. All right?
Uh-huh.
So, Tom, I'm going to explain it to you. And beforehand, I'm going to tell you I'm sorry, right? They made me do it. All right?
Uh-huh. Right.
So, you are that amount of years old. Indeed, you are.
I am.
We
It's
won't-
undeniable.
Pick a number, but you are at that point in your life. And then,
It's on to the decline. I'm on the way back down.
well, we hope not, but yeah, you know, age does its thing. Anyway, so during all of those amount of years that you spent turning around the sun, you
Rub
had.
it in, why don't you?
I have no hand in
I
that
mean,
thing.
I don't even feel bad because I'm pretty sure that we're in the same.
Yeah, I think we're
range.
about the same ballpark.
Yeah. So, by the look of your. Anyway, okay. So.
What were you gonna say?
Did
you want them back, right? Oh my God.
Talk
Okay,
about my
okay.
hair. Jesus, please keep it
Rude.
Rude indeed. I'm not gonna invite him again next time they bring
Okay,
you on.
now, you guys. Okay, I need the floor, right? Because like it's been there. Thank you, Jess. That's the only thing I need. All right, so Tom, you've lived through all of those years. You have accumulated a number of experience, good, bad, tears, laughter, probably blood and sweat at some point. You were working in marketing, so there was most definitely blood and sweat. And tears, tears maybe. Well, I don't know. I mean, usually punch the guy and then cry in the bathroom. That's the marketing way of doing things. Then you made a game, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's basically your life story right now, right?
Brilliant. Couldn't have put it better myself. Went around the sun, punched a guy, cried in the bathroom, made a game. The end.
That.
I'm sorry
That's,
you broke
that's,
it.
that's
You're
going on my
great.
headstone.
Okay,
Right, go on then.
yeah.
Keep going.
I might be a bit tired. Usually I go faster through
No, that's a lie.
it. Can that be your next point and click game?
Yeah, definitely. That's it.
Yeah.
The
All
slow
right.
decline.
I'm gonna die.
So, Well, by now the old dramatic song must be over, so there's no point to. Okay, so you put all of those experiences, right?
Mm-hmm.
You put them into a box.
Mm.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
a nice pinky violet box.
Mm.
You put a little top on it. Put a little bow on it
Mm.
of the color of your choosing,
Mm.
and then
That's kind.
you take the box
Mm.
and then you put it aside.
Mm.
And you answer that very deep question. What is your top 3 games of all time?
I just need to say that there was 12 minutes left before the beginning of that
Yeah,
question,
and
and now there
now-
is 8.
But my God, was it worth it for that dramatic lead up? God, you should have had some like orchestra, like Ride of the Valkyrie.
Yeah, we need
Playing the
music
background.
I
behind
want
this.
that. I want that.
We're
Yeah.
gonna get
Okay,
one.
top games. I'm gonna put Monkey Island 2 in there. Monkey Island 1, love it, but as I said before, I've got a real love for Monkey Island 2 because I completed it on my own with no help, and that's
Yeah.
so I've got that sense of achievement. Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Absolutely, I completed that again the other week. Absolutely, just as far as I'm concerned, the pinnacle of Zelda games. I just love that game. It's one of the few that I've played over and over and over, and I
Yeah.
never get tired of it. It's like it's just I could just sit and just run through the dungeons, just love it. This is where
It's a
Yeah,
hard
usually
question.
people have trouble with the third one. It's where
I feel like it should be a game that I've completed. Because that's surely I mean I love Day of the Tentacle. But I feel like I feel like should be variety now. I shouldn't just be able to kind of just two.
it's totally up to you.
There is no rule to that.
I love Tetris.
Oh,
I genuinely
good.
I could
Yeah.
sit and play Tetris for ages, and I've completed that on like Tetris B, like obviously Tetris A, kind of like yeah.
Ninja Unicorn is not in the chat, but if she was, she would be screaming yes to that answer.
I'm gonna go with that though. I'm gonna go with Tetris on the Game Boy, on the original Game Boy. I'm gonna go
On
with
the OG. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Link to the Past, and I'm gonna go with LeChuck's Revenge, Monkey Island.
Yay! Good job.
Have you played Full Throttle?
I haven't. No.
You did not.
No, it passed me by. I ended up I played a few of the Telltale games afterwards, and I played a couple. I played Grim Fandango and things. But in terms of the kind of 2D point and click games, I played Indiana Jones and Last Crusade. I've only recently played Fate of Atlantis, and played the 2 Monkey Islands. Played Day of the Tentacle. Played the demo of Loom. Simon the Sorcerer 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And that's in terms. Oh, and Lure of the Temptress as well. So again,
Yeah.
so Revolution Studios 1. So, and Broken Sword 1 and 2. So those are when in the 90s, not within a million of miles of when they came out. That's probably
no.
There were quite a few that I now know quite a lot about because there were just posts about them on like my feed are just full point and click adventure games now.
I have a tiny question. I don't know if it's a real tiny question, but why tall story games? I know the name.
Thank you.
We should have led
I
with
know.
that.
I know.
That's a good question.
So down to kind of working in digital marketing, going with something where the domain name's available.
Yeah.
I felt like it wanted to be narrative based, so having story in there to make sense. And I was just trying to think of phrases, so like a tall story that's like a kind of a long and rambling story that you don't quite believe, seemed to fit, quite well with a lot of point and click adventure games. So it's just it was quite a quick one. So my other business, doing marketing, is called Considered Creative.
Oh,
And
that's
that was
cool.
again, that came out really quickly as well. And it's like I think we were chatting. I was in the bath, and we were just coming up with names. And
Where we
sort of-
find
we
name.
kind of went, and it was a bit like lucid dreaming, considered creative. You know, we could say, oh yeah, we are considered creative, and there are kind of USP was like always putting kind of the research and the thought behind it. There's a reason why it looks the way it does. The reason why we do kind of research led. And just again, you go, right, okay, well, we'll check to see if the domain names are available. Oh, they are, brilliant, right, we'll have it. If not, somebody else has thought of it beforehand, try another one. And it was just kind of, just sort of spitballing ideas until you find one that someone doesn't own yet.
Yeah.
And that was good because we managed to get the .com, .co.uk, .uk and things like that, and then domain names, and then all the social media handles as well. It was just quite
I love it.
No one had used it.
It's a great
I thought it
name.
was good. Yeah, I was quite happy with that.
It's
Truly
all on my
original.
side. I only have like all the thanks, and like it was really, really amazing. It was great.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for your time,
yeah.
and thanks
Thank
so
you,
much for
Andy.
everyone.
He's not streaming right now. I don't know. He's probably
He was
lurking.
there earlier.
He was streaming earlier?
No,
he was
he
there
was there
earlier.
earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truly a delight to have you, Tom. I will play your game, and then we will have you back.
And before that, you will review the game too.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's to be done.
absolutely.
I'm gonna be by the time I finish it, probably number like 302, but still, I'm gonna be there somewhere.
Well, in terms of review, the reviews are going up slowly. It's been on like one review per 2 months. It's like so
I mean, yeah, but still, it's not gonna be like.
Well,
How
Obviously, it's like after this kind of has aired, it's gonna like. Buck the
Yeah,
curve.
of course, because like
because everyone in the chat is going to buy it and review
Yeah,
it
of course.
within
Right?
hours, probably.
Yes, exactly.
I want to see all of the new reviews under 3 hours.
Yeah, absolutely.
There we go.
We're
All
gonna raid today. We're gonna
we are.
raid
Okay,
Mocha Boba. We're
Oh,
gonna
nice.
need to stream and do a raid and run, but we're gonna bring you to the amazing Zina to be able to see what
What is
she's
she
doing
doing?
right now.
Peace bundle.
but-
Lucifer within us.
Within 30 minutes, Nuri is saying. So yeah, it's gonna be quick. So we're
Awesome.
gonna end the stream. Thank you so much to everyone. And take care. We love you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.